Chosen one, August 16th, 17 and 18, Days of Supernatural Wealth. Chosen one, what is about to unfold from August 16th to August 18th is not just a sequence of days on the calendar. It is a window in the spiritual realm, a marked period when heaven's storehouses are unlocked and the flow of supernatural wealth begins to move towards you. These are not ordinary dates. In the unseen, the alignment has already been set. Opportunities, blessings, and divine connections are moving into position. The struggles of your past seasons have not been in vain. They have been preparation, conditioning your spirit to recognize, receive, and properly steward the abundance now being released. August 16th to 18th will carry a prophetic weight. The air itself will feel different, as if charged with expectation. It is a time when God's perfect timing meets human readiness, and the result is transformation. This period is also deeply symbolic within certain Christian traditions. Just one day before, on August 15th, the Church celebrates the Dormition of the Mother of God, the commemoration of her being taken into glory. From August 16th onward, the after-feast begins, a continuation of the joy and reverence of that holy event. In the Orthodox calendar, August 16th is also the feast of the image not made by hands, the miraculous icon of Christ carried from Edessa to Constantinople, a symbol of divine imprint, blessing, and supernatural favor. These days are soaked in the memory of miracles, faith, and divine intervention, which makes them spiritually fertile ground for heaven's plans to take root in your life. To walk through them in faith is to walk on consecrated ground, even if you are unaware of all the historical details. The spiritual realm recognizes them. Before we go deeper, I want you to stay with me until the very end of this message. What you are hearing now is not coincidence. It is an appointment with your spirit. I want you to actively participate in this prophetic flow. Write your warmest wishes in the comments, along with the numbers 99 and 777, and subscribe to this journey of glory. These numbers are not random. They carry symbolic energy of divine completion and spiritual alignment. By writing them, you are declaring your readiness to receive, to align with heaven's timing, and to see your wishes manifest into reality. This is your moment to make a conscious imprint in the unseen realm. From August 16th to 18th, you may notice subtle but undeniable signs. Unexpected opportunities, chance meetings, sudden clarity on decisions, even financial resources coming from places you never imagined. The supernatural aspect of wealth here is that it will not be solely the result of your labor or human effort. It will be as if the wind of heaven carries it into your path. In biblical history and spiritual testimony, there are moments when blessings arrive not by might nor by power, but by divine orchestration. This is one of those moments. You may feel a sudden urge to act on an idea, to send a message, to revisit a dream you had set aside. That inner prompting is not to be ignored. It is part of the wealth transfer in motion. Wealth in this context is not limited to money, though financial increase is a major part of it. It also means wealth in relationships, health, creativity, influence, and spiritual depth. For some, it will mean literal money in the bank. For others, it will mean the opening of doors that lead to sustained abundance for years to come. This is why August 16 to 18 matters so deeply, because the seeds planted in these days have the potential to grow into harvests that last far beyond this season. The Orthodox tradition celebration of the image not made by hands on August 16th is an echo of this truth, that what heaven marks, heaven multiplies. Just as the miraculous image was not crafted by human hands, the blessings about to enter your life will carry a signature that no human could have forged. Spiritually speaking, these days are a kind of divine exchange zone. Heaven is ready to release, but it is also looking for vessels that are prepared to receive. This is your call to readiness. Be intentional with your prayers, deliberate with your actions, and open in your heart. Expect interruptions in your routine. They may be divine appointments in disguise. Expect a sense of acceleration, because in the spiritual calendar, these days are a convergence point, compressing what would normally take months or years into hours or days. When you step into August 16th, carry an awareness that you are walking through a prophetic corridor. By August 18th, you will look back and recognize that something shifted, not just in the physical, but in the way you think, believe, and expect. That is supernatural wealth, the transformation of your mindset to match the abundance heaven is pouring out. So you are no longer chasing it. You are aligned with it, chosen one, as you move deeper into the current of August 16th to 18th. Understand that supernatural wealth does not simply arrive, it positions itself in response to your faith, your posture, and your willingness to step into alignment. Heaven's flow is precise. It is not random or chaotic. The release that is coming in these days has been scheduled in eternity, tailored to meet you at a place where you can carry it, not lose it. This is why you've been tested, refined, and sometimes even delayed. Those delays were never denial, they were preparation, so that when this exact window opens, you are ready to handle what many could not. On August 16th, the spiritual climate will shift. It may not be visible to every eye, but your spirit will feel it. You might wake up with an unexplainable sense of peace or urgency. This is the day the doors begin to open, the day the heavenly vault starts to pour out its first wave. Just as the Orthodox tradition marks August 16th with the remembrance of the miraculous image of Christ, the image not made by hands, so too will heaven stamp your life in a way no human effort could produce. You will look at the opportunities, the people, and the blessings that enter, and you will know, this did not come from my hustle alone. This was orchestrated. August 17th will be a day of acceleration. What began as a stirring on the 16th will start to move faster. You may find that ideas flow effortlessly, that solutions to long-standing problems suddenly appear, that people who were once distant are now reaching out to connect. This is not coincidence. This is the divine network unfolding. In wealth terms, this is the opening of channels. It could be the right investor, a business partnership, a piece of knowledge, or a shift in the market that aligns in your favor. Spiritually, it is the manifestation of the truth that heaven can open doors no man can shut. If you lean in on this day, through prayer, gratitude, and bold action, you will ride the momentum into the fullness of what is meant for you. August 18th, the final day of this 3-day alignment, will be a sealing day. In the rhythm of the spiritual realm, there are moments that serve as signatures, final touches that complete what began. This is that day. What you set in motion on the 16th and 17th will find its confirmation here. Contracts may be signed, deals agreed upon, commitments made, or clarity received. In the supernatural, it will be the point where the transfer of wealth is stamped as irreversible. The spiritual roots of the Dormition after feast continue here, days following a major celebration where the blessing does not diminish but lingers and settles in. You will feel that the atmosphere has changed for you, permanently. Chosen one's supernatural wealth in this period is not only about gain, it's also about transformation. If you receive abundance but remain bound in the mindset of scarcity, you will mishandle what you've been given. That is why these days will not only fill your hands, but they will also enlarge your vision. You will begin to think generationally. You will see beyond the next bill, beyond the next month, into legacies, investments, and the empowerment of others. This is why heaven calls you chosen, because you are meant to carry wealth as a light, not just as a possession. Between these days, be mindful of distractions. Supernatural opportunities can be disguised in simple forms. Don't overlook the phone call, the casual invitation, the small opening that doesn't look like much at first. Many times, the key to abundance comes wrapped in something ordinary, but inside it is extraordinary. Just as the miraculous icon on August 16th was not made by human hands, the blessings you are about to encounter will not bear the fingerprints of the usual process. They will appear in ways that make others say, "Only God could have done this." Remember, this is a time to be intentional. Document the signs you see, the ideas you receive, the connections you make. Pray over them. Speak life into them. Take bold action when prompted. Between the 16th and the 18th, every move carries multiplied weight. These are days when heaven's math does not follow earthly rules. A single seed of effort can bring an overwhelming harvest. By the close of August 18th, chosen one, you will know something irreversible has taken place. You will not only sense it, you will see it in your spirit and in your circumstances. From this point forward, your journey will no longer be about chasing wealth, but walking in it. You will have crossed over from striving to receiving, from hoping to owning. And this is just the beginning. Chosen one, by the time you step into the heart of this 3-day divine appointment, you will begin to notice that your perception itself has changed. The supernatural wealth flowing toward you is not just altering your circumstances, it's reprogramming your inner world. The way you think, the way you expect, and the way you respond will feel elevated. Heaven is not merely giving you blessings, it is shaping you into someone who can carry them without fear or limitation. The greatest wealth is not only in the hands, it is in the mind and spirit of the one who holds it. From August 16th to 18th, there is a convergence between the spiritual and natural realms. This is why the Orthodox tradition calls these days part of the after feast of Dormition. The celebration may have been marked on the 15th, but the blessing lingers, settling in, deepening, and sealing itself into the lives of those who are attentive. Spiritually, that lingering presence is like residual oil after an anointing. It continues to release fragrance and power long after the initial moment. In your life, this will be experienced as a series of after blessings, where one breakthrough triggers another, and you find yourself in a chain reaction of divine provision. On August 16th, the imprint begins. Opportunities and connections will arrive in ways that bear no human fingerprints. On August 17th, the acceleration intensifies. And by August 18th, you will feel a seal, a final stamp that says, "This is yours. It cannot be taken away." But understand this, chosen one. What you carry into these days matters. A heart open to generosity will multiply the wealth received. A spirit that clings to fear or greed will shrink even in the presence of abundance. This is why preparation in the days before matters. Clearing out doubt, resentment, and small thinking so there's space for the large and unexpected blessings about to come. Supernatural wealth also carries supernatural responsibility. The abundance coming your way between August 16th and 18th is not meant to sit idle. It is meant to move, to grow, to bless. Think of it like a river. If the flow is stopped, the water grows stagnant. If it is allowed to move, it refreshes everything it touches. You are being positioned as both a receiver and a distributor of blessing. That means ideas, resources, and even influence will flow to you not only for your benefit, but so you can plant seeds that will create harvests for others. In heaven's economy, the more you release, the more you receive. You may find yourself in moments of holy discomfort during this time. Supernatural wealth will often require you to step out of the familiar. Perhaps you've been accustomed to thinking in terms of just enough. Now you'll be prompted to think in terms of overflow. This can be unsettling for the mind that has long been trained to survive rather than thrive. But trust this process. Just as the miraculous icon remembered on August 16th could not have been created by human hands, neither can the shift in your life during these days be manufactured by your own effort. It is a divine work, and divine works often pull you beyond what feels comfortable. These 3 days will also bring heightened spiritual sensitivity. Pay close attention to the people who enter your life in this window. Some will carry keys, literal or figurative, that open new doors. Others may appear as tests to see whether you can maintain focus amidst distraction. Not every opportunity is meant to be seized, and not every voice should guide you. This is why your discernment must be active. The enemy often tries to counterfeit blessings, but the true will always carry peace, clarity, and divine timing. As you move from day to day in this alignment, document your experiences. Keep a record of even the smallest signs: a sudden phone call, a chance meeting, an unexpected idea, a quiet moment of inner assurance. These are not random. They are the breadcrumbs of heaven, leading you to the banquet prepared for you. In the months ahead, you will look back on this journal and realize how precise God's orchestration was, how nothing in this period was wasted. Chosen one, the supernatural wealth being released to you from August 16th to 18 is a beginning, not an endpoint. These days mark the opening of a season, one in which your life will no longer be measured by what you lack, but by what you steward. The key is to walk in humility and gratitude, remembering that the source of this abundance is not the market, not luck, and not even your own strength. It is heaven's decree over your life. When you understand this, you will move forward without fear of losing what you've gained, because it was never anchored in man's approval or the world's systems. This is your moment, your prophetic window. Step into it with both expectation and readiness, knowing that what begins now will echo for years, perhaps even generations to come. Chosen one, as you journey into the final stretch of this 3-day divine alignment, the reality of supernatural wealth will begin to reveal its deeper layers. Up to this point, you may have experienced tangible shifts, financial openings, unexpected connections, or sudden clarity. But now heaven is inviting you to understand why this wealth is being released to you. August 16-18 is not simply about receiving, it is about being entrusted. The flow you are stepping into is connected to heaven's greater plan for your life, and that plan always goes beyond personal gain. Wealth in the supernatural sense carries an assignment. It is a tool for building, for liberating, for transforming not only your world, but the world of those connected to you. Just as the Orthodox tradition treats the days after Dormition as sacred continuations of a greater celebration, so too must you treat the days after this alignment as a continuation of your calling. You are not just living in a moment, you are entering into a mantle, a spiritual role that requires you to be a channel of blessing. This is the point where the responsibility becomes just as clear as the reward. On these days, you will begin to see the unfolding of patterns. The people who appear, the words you hear, the opportunities you encounter will seem to form a thread. Follow that thread. It is heaven's way of guiding you toward your next assignment. In financial terms, this could mean being directed toward investments that will grow steadily, partnerships that will multiply your reach, or strategies that bring sustainable increase. Spiritually, it will mean discovering the ways you are meant to use this increase to touch lives, whether that's through generosity, mentorship, or building something that will outlive you. August 18th, in particular, is a day of sealing. It's the spiritual equivalent of signing a covenant. What you agree to on this day, internally and externally, will shape how the supernatural wealth continues to flow in your life. The agreements you make now should be made with prayerful clarity. Be careful with your yes and intentional with your no. This is a day to finalize what began, to confirm the direction you are stepping into, and to claim ownership of the blessings released. Chosen one, do not underestimate the unseen battles that may surround these days. Whenever heaven marks a moment for breakthrough, the enemy will attempt distraction, discouragement, or confusion. Pay attention to sudden irritations, small conflicts, or voices that sow doubt. These are designed to shift your focus away from the flow. Guard your atmosphere. Protect your peace. The supernatural wealth coming your way is not fragile, but your posture in receiving it can be influenced. Keep your mind anchored in gratitude, your words aligned with faith, and your actions consistent with the vision you've been given. This is also a time to prepare for scale. The blessings you are stepping into are not meant to stay small. Even if the initial manifestation seems modest, do not despise it. Seeds rarely look like the harvest they carry. The supernatural dimension of these days ensures that the small will grow quickly if tended with care. Take the time to create order in your life, because wealth multiplies where there is structure. Loose ends and disorganization can drain the very blessing you've been given. Heaven does not pour into broken vessels without first repairing them, and you have been through that repairing season. Now, you must maintain the vessel. As the sun sets on August 18th, you will feel the shift solidify. It may be quiet, no fireworks, no loud announcements, but deep in your spirit, you will know the current has changed. This is the kind of change that does not fade when the calendar turns. This is a redirection of your trajectory. From this point, you are walking in a season where supernatural provision is normal, where divine timing governs your steps, and where your faith is not in the economy of man, but in the economy of heaven. Remember this: wealth in God's design is never accidental. You have been chosen not only because you can receive it, but because you can multiply it. The people who will be touched through your obedience in this season are countless. The decisions you make in the shadow of these 3 days will echo into generations you may never meet. That is the scale of what heaven is trusting you with. This is more than a season of blessing. It is a season of becoming. Becoming the person who can handle the abundance without losing humility. Becoming the steward who invests wisely, who gives generously, and who lives in alignment with the purpose behind the provision. This is your prophetic identity. Not just a receiver of wealth, but a carrier of legacy. Chosen one, as this prophetic window closes on August 18th, understand that what has been set in motion is not ending. It is only beginning. These 3 days have acted like a key turning in a lock. The door is now open, and you are stepping into a space you have never walked before. Supernatural wealth has been released into your life, and its effects will ripple out far beyond anything you can imagine. The events, signs, and inner shifts you have experienced in this short span of time have been deposits into your future. They are not temporary blessings. They are the foundation for a new lifestyle of divine provision and abundance. From this moment on, you are not the same. You will think differently, move differently, and expect differently. The posture of lack, survival, and small thinking will no longer fit you. The environment of these 3 days has stretched your capacity, and heaven will not allow you to shrink back. You have been entrusted with more because you are now capable of carrying more, and as you carry, you will also pour out. Because supernatural wealth multiplies in the hands of those who release it in faith. You have also been marked. Just as August 16th in the Orthodox tradition remembers the miraculous icon not made by hands, your life now carries a mark of divine authorship. People will see the change and know it was not manufactured by human effort. You will be a living testimony, a walking sign that heaven still moves in the affairs of men and women, opening doors and creating opportunities no one can explain. This is part of your assignment, to be visible evidence that divine timing, obedience, and faith can shift an entire destiny. As you step forward, remember that this window has been about alignment as much as abundance. Everything you do from here should be in harmony with the call on your life. Guard your focus, protect your time, stay rooted in gratitude and faith. The enemy's tactic after a breakthrough is often to create subtle distractions to dilute the impact. But if you remain anchored in what you've received, the flow will not only continue, it will increase. Supernatural wealth is also generational. What began in these days is not just for you, it is for those who will come after you. The financial shifts, the strategic ideas, the divine partnerships formed now will create legacies. You may not see the full reach of this work in your lifetime, but your obedience in this short window will echo across decades. That is the weight and privilege of being chosen. You must also carry the awareness that you are not stepping into a season of rest without responsibility. The abundance you now walk in is an instrument of heaven. It will be used to build, to heal, to provide, and to free others. You are not only a recipient, you are a steward, a builder, and a leader in this new era. The more you embrace this identity, the more heaven will trust you with. As August 18th closes, take a moment to seal this alignment in your heart. Speak out loud your gratitude for what has come and declare your openness for what is yet to unfold. Write down the moments, the signs, the whispers you heard during these days. They are part of your spiritual map for the journey ahead. When challenges come, you will be able to return to these records and remember the certainty you felt in this moment. Chosen one, your life after these days will be different. Not because the calendar has changed, but because you have changed. The shift in your mindset, the increase in your faith, and the arrival of supernatural wealth have transformed your inner reality, and your outer reality will now follow. Walk forward with boldness, knowing that heaven's economy is now your economy. You are aligned, you are equipped, and you are chosen to carry this abundance with purpose. From this day on, the question is no longer if you will see the manifestation of supernatural wealth. It is how far it will reach, how deep it will impact, and how many lives will be transformed because you chose to believe, receive, and act during August 16 to 18. This is the seal. This is the beginning of your next era, and nothing will be able to stop what heaven has started. Chosen one, as August 16 to 18 passes, remember, this window was not a random stretch of time. It was heaven's deliberate invitation. The supernatural wealth released into your life is not just for this moment. It is the seed of a lasting transformation. You are walking out of these days different, carrying a new identity, new authority, and new capacity to steward abundance. Every sign you saw, every whisper you heard, every door that began to open is part of a divine map leading you into your next chapter. Guard it, nurture it, multiply it. You are now aligned with a flow that cannot be stopped, a provision that cannot be stolen, and a calling that cannot be revoked. From here on, your steps will be ordered, your hands will stay full, and your spirit will remain rich. The vault of heaven has been opened. Walk forward, knowing you are chosen to carry this blessing into eternity.